Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Mario Cristobal, the Miami Hurricanes, travel up north to play the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in the Pinstripe Bowl. Want to talk about a few things I'm looking for from this Miami Hurricanes team heading into that 2024 year. And yes, you play to win this football game, but more importantly for Miami fans, you're getting a sense of who your difference makers are, who your playmakers are going to be for this program in 2024. Really excited to get into this one. Before we do, just want to say thank you to you guys and a special shout out to the Miami fans. This has been a program we've talked a ton about in the transfer portal, a ton about on the high school recruiting trail, and the amount of support you guys have shown has been amazing. Cannot thank you guys enough. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and more importantly, we'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section what you're looking for from this Miami Hurricanes team as they play Rutgers. And without further ado, let's get into this one. I think the number one thing we're all looking for is that quarterback position. Now, this is a position that I've been pretty adamant on in terms of Miami. If they get this quarterback position right in 2024, this is going to be a very special team. Because you look at the team around this Miami Hurricanes quarterback, really, really good playmakers at the wide receiver spot. An offensive line that might be one of the better units that you see in the entire country in 2024. A phenomenal backfield and a defense that I think might have one of the better front sevens that we see in the ACC next year. This is a team that's ready to win a lot of games in 2024 if they can get that quarterback position right. Now, I want to talk about a guy like Ja'Cory Brown, and obviously the conversation has gone a lot to a quarterback in the transfer portal. And although I still think Miami should be going after Cam Ward, Will Howard, KJ Jefferson, you are going to get a sense of what you have with a guy like Ja'Cory Brown, who going back to his true freshman year was a guy that showed some flashes of being a special quarterback at the college football level. Now in 2023, didn't really get to see much of him. You're going to get a chance to see the development that Ja'Cory Brown has had over the last couple of months in this Miami Hurricanes program. And I kind of want to take you back to him coming out of high school. This was one of the premier dual threat quarterbacks coming out in that 2022 class, threw for over 3,300 yards, ran for over 3,000 yards during his time at the high school rank. Massive arm, massive body with phenomenal athleticism in terms of checking boxes. I mean, Ja'Cory Brown has all those boxes checked. Now you just want to see that manifest onto the football field. And you're getting an opportunity to see Ja'Cory Brown against a defense that has been very, very good against the pass. This Rutgers team, extremely physical up front, and in the back end, they're stingy, right? They only allow 6.3 yards per pass attempt. That's 11th in the country with an only 59% completion percentage given up. This is a nice litmus test for Ja'Cory Brown and getting a sense of what you have with a guy like Ja'Cory Brown, who's largely, to Miami fans, kind of been a mystery. Like, you've seen his name on live even time and time again. And during this season, I would have liked to see him play in that 2023 season. We're finally going to get that opportunity against the defense that is really good. And as a Michigan fan, watching a lot of Rutgers football, that's one of those teams that I don't like when Michigan plays, especially this year, because they're really stingy on defense. They're extremely physical up front. Really excited to see what you get from a guy like Ja'Cory Brown. Now, the next thing I'm looking for is the young wide receivers stepping up, right? Obviously, with Colby Young transferring to Georgia, you know what you have in Jacoby George and Xavier Restrepo. Two of the better receivers that you see in the ACC. Now, who's going to step up? We've talked about, is Miami going to go out into the transfer portal and try to land a premier wide receiver? I think you're going to get your answer tomorrow afternoon in terms of, does Miami need to go out and get them? Because you have some wide receivers that I think you're kind of excited to see what they have, right? The first guy I'm looking at outside of Restrepo and Jacoby George, who again, I feel like you know what you have with them, is a guy like Ray Joseph. I mean, this was a massive win for the Hurricanes on the recruiting trail in that 2023 class. Has gotten on the field seldomly as a true freshman. You see the athleticism. You read the camp notes. You read the practice notes. This guy has some serious juice. And with a guy like Colby Young heading to Georgia, you have a little more opportunity to see what a guy like Ray Joseph has. More importantly, helps you evaluate and get a feel for, do we need to add another receiver to this room heading into that 2024 season? Another guy I want to see get more touches, and I've been kind of banging the table for a guy like this for a while, Brashad Smith. And this is a guy that every time he gets the football in his hands, it sounds like and it seems like good things happen. And it doesn't, one criticism I have of that Shannon Dawson offense was you have some of these playmakers that have proven that they're extremely dangerous, can impact the game with the football in their hands. And I felt like they weren't getting enough opportunity. Brashad Smith was probably one of those guys. What do you have in Brashad Smith? Can we get him some touches? Can we give him the opportunity to show that he's a difference maker for this Miami team in 2024? Last guy I'm looking at, Isaiah Horton, more of a bigger physical receiver. This is another guy that I think has that opportunity to show that y'all don't need to go out and get a wide receiver in the portal because you have some young bucks in this room that are ready to impact the game. Those are some of the guys that I'll have my eyes on in that wide receiver room. Now, the last thing on offense before we move to the defensive side of the ball is this offensive line without a guy like Matt Lee and Javion Cohen. And this is a group that I've said I think is going to be one of the best, if not the best offensive line unit in the ACC next year. And you lose your veteran, your star veteran center, the guy that has so much impact on this team in Matt Lee. Now, you all go out and get Zach Carpenter in the transfer portal from Indiana, who I think is going to provide that veteran stability at the center position. Massive fan of a guy like Zach Carpenter, former Michigan Wolverine. Y'all got a good one there. Then a guy like Matthew McCoy. I think we're going to get a sense of, can he be that plug-and-play guy on that inside of that offensive line? I don't know if Pancake Concho is ready yet with some of the injuries he's dealt with, but if you're Miami, you're getting a sense of, all right, how is this offensive line, an offensive line that I think is going to be very good next year? You're going to get a sense of how good can this unit be? Is Matthew McCoy ready to be a full-time starter for this Hurricanes team? Again, this offensive line's loaded. Mario Cristobal has done a phenomenal job addressing this group. I think it's going to be a great group in 2024. It's going up against a very good front seven. Getting a sense of how this Miami offensive line is going to look in 2024, certainly something I'll be looking at. Now, flipping to the defensive side of the football, I think a lot of the emphasis, a lot of the focus is on that secondary, right? You got a lot of veteran guys that are leaving this program, specifically at the safety spot with guys like Cam Kitchens and James Williams going to the NFL draft. Those guys have played so much football for the Miami Hurricanes the last couple of years. What does this safety position look? I know you're moving some guys around. You're going to get a sense of what you have back there, but my eyeballs are going to be on the cornerback spot. A guy like Damari Brown, a guy like Jedias Richard coming from Vanderbilt, two young wide receivers that, again, talking about checking boxes from an athleticism standpoint, length, long speed, physicality. These guys have it. I think they could be special cornerbacks in 2024. You're going to get to see an opportunity of those guys maybe get some starting reps for Miami tomorrow, Thursday afternoon, I should say. Really excited to see those guys. And you look at this Rutgers offense, it's not an elite group passing the football. So I do think this is an opportunity for these cornerbacks to get some confidence. Like, they'll be asked to kind of play some one-on-one coverage because Rutgers is going to run the football. You're going to see some safeties in the box. So a guy like Brown, a guy like Jedias Richard going to be asked to maybe play on some islands on the boundary. Can they hold up? That's another question I have. Excited to get our answer. And then finally, let's just see this young defensive line one more time kind of just dominate. And you look at Miami and why I think they can be special in 2024 if they do get this quarterback position right on defense. It starts up front. Obviously, Ruben Bain, ACC True Freshman of the Year. He's been a dog. We know what we have in him. Leonard Taylor going to the NFL draft. Really excited to see Jaden Wayne, a guy that kind of has gotten overshadowed because Ruben Bain has been so good. I think he could be a ball player for the Hurricanes in 2024. Probably going to get to see a little bit more of him. And then you take a look at what this group is going to be in 2024. You add a guy like Armando Blunt. You add a guy like Justin Scott. This is going to be the strength of the defense. And I want to see them kind of set the tone against a Rutgers offensive line that wants to run the football, that wants to be physical. Can this young defensive line hold up against those guys is going to be a big question that you want to see answered for Miami. Now, to kind of round this out, I think this is a team that they just need to start winning some games, right? This is a team that a lot of y'all have heard me say this, checks a lot of boxes in terms of what you want in an elite football team from a talent standpoint, from a depth chart standpoint. Now it is winning football games, knowing what it's like to close out games. So although this is a bowl game, it's not a regular season game, this team has a chance to get to 8 wins and kind of get a little bit more confidence heading into that 2024 year where a lot of Miami fans are looking at and saying, that's a year that can be special. I kind of view this Pinstripe Bowl as the first game of the 2024 year in terms of getting some confidence, going into winter workouts and spring practice on a good note, on a note of, yeah, we believe we can win these games. This Rutgers team is extremely good. The 6-6 record, they play really good defense. They're extremely well coached by Greg Schiano. You want to see this Hurricanes team win this game and get some just a little bit of positive momentum heading into the offseason, into a year in 2024 that I truly think can be really special for Miami. We'll be hopping on after this game talking about what we saw. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys again. This is a team very fun to talk about. I love talking about it. We'll be back on tomorrow afternoon recapping what we saw. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.